Oh, okay.
There's a little kiwi bird.
Oh, comfortable. Okay, we live, guys.
Ooh.
Welcome to another one of our live sessions. We were definitely ready. Let's just make that clear. We did not rush to get there. So welcome to one of our live sessions where we are taking about 1 hour every single week to answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. We're here to help you plan your trip. We're here to help you answer questions about what to do and where and everything in between. Even if you are here on a visitor's visa, if you come to just for a holiday, if you come to visit of some family, if you're here on a working holiday visa, backpacking in New Zealand, we are here for you. As you can see, we're just catching our breath because we were definitely ready on time today. Anyway, why are we answering the question, Laura? Why are we the experts?
Well, this is Robin and I'm Laura, and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide and basically has all the information you need for planning a trip to New Zealand. Whether you're just doing a sort of short camper van road trip around the two islands, or if you're taking a full year doing a working holiday, we have all that information on the website for you guys. So it's pretty much the best place to go check out some information about New Zealand. But in case you're not really into reading, which I know a lot of people on YouTube aren't really into that.
Reading.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to scroll down 1,000-word article, really? So instead, we do this live Q&A session on a Sunday morning New Zealand time for you guys to come and ask your questions directly to us on the live chat so we can answer them for you. And just so you know, okay. Yeah, we'll do this first.
No, I was about to take it.
So, where was I?
So if you guys cannot make it live with us, you can leave questions in the comments of any of our videos, and we print them like that, and we go through them during this live session. When we haven't said everything in the live chat, we just go through that. So don't fear if you're not there when the session is live, you can still get your question answered. And yeah, we are here every single Sunday. That's what you want to show, right?
Yes.
We're here every single Sunday at those, so 8 a.m. New Zealand time, and Saturday in the UK and France. So that's around 8 p.m. in the UK, 9 p.m. in France. In USA, it's on Saturday, 2 p.m. EST. Yep, and 11 a.m. PST. I definitely know that by heart. God, we prepared today.
In India, that is Sunday at 12:30 a.m., bright and early. Sorry, India. And in Australia, that is 6 a.m.
All right, here we go. Let's get started. So on the live chat, we have Carly Munoz. I say, hi, guys. Oh, Carly, you were chatting with Laura on Facebook, weren't you? Apparently, you guys were mocking me for quite a while. So, yeah.
You didn't see those comments, did you?
No, not at all. Not at all. But, yeah. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, I think you're coming to travel quite soon, and you're going to have a couple of weeks in New Zealand. So, yeah, any question you may have, go ahead. And Duan as well, welcome back. You were here last week. Also, to have you on board. If you have any questions, go ahead. Duan, hi. Kali says, oh, you know who I am. Yes.
Of course.
We're not awful people. We remember who messaged us. We remember who sent us questions. Okay. Hero doesn't seem to be here just yet, so I'll answer Hero's question later because I know he's going to show up. What do we have here? Food itinerary? Yeah, why we do that?
An itinerary?
Yeah, an itinerary. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to do an itinerary. What Carly says. Carly says, it was just too funny, Robin. Sorry for that. So Carly is actually referencing the video that we have of bungee jumping in Queenstown and the video that we have on Mount Manaya in Whangarei. So if you type Whangarei, which is WHANGAREI, and then you type NZ Pocket Guide, you're going to find a video of Mount Manaya where I break my arm during the video, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
And if you type bungee and NZ Pocket Guide, you also find a video of me passing out. So basically, I'm a wuss. I don't know why I'm traveling around. But yeah, that's what she's referencing. And her and Laura have been chatting for quite a while, just mocking me about that.
Why not?
Thanks. All right, so let's get started with some question. Natasha Villian says, can you recommend a family-friendly campervan itinerary starting in Auckland and ending in Christchurch? We have 17 days, and I'm mostly interested in beaches, short walk, hot pools, and animals. All right, to do that, we need a map.
Yeah, and some pens.
And some pens. Get the pens. All right, so Laura, why is it good to actually start in Auckland and finishing in Christchurch?
Well, first of all, it means that you can explore both islands, which, you know, most people want to do in New Zealand. There is a lot to see on both of these islands. But yeah, in Auckland, that's sort of the main international airport of New Zealand. So it's a very easy airport to arrive in New Zealand. But Christchurch is also an international airport. So you can either fly out straight out of New Zealand from Christchurch, or there are many flights actually connecting Christchurch and Auckland. So getting back to the South Island, getting between the North Island and the South Island is pretty easy, thanks to those airports. But also when you're on limited time, it can be very challenging to actually travel the whole country and arrive back in Auckland. That does take a lot of time. So if you are on limited time, like 2 weeks or 17 days in the case of this itinerary, it's kind of best to end in Christchurch so that you actually get to spend more time in the places that you're visiting and not basically rush around the country like crazy.
All right, so they're going to be arriving in Auckland. So we're going to get started with Auckland. And so just so you guys are aware, we are using NZ Pocket Guide to do this itinerary. So if you guys click on transportation and then you click on trip IDs, then you're going to have trip IDs for like so many different kind of timing that you can have in New Zealand. And we just give you basically all the information and much more that we're going to be talking about here. So again, go on NZ Pocket Guide, and then travel tips, and then trip IDs, and all the itineraries are ready for you just right there. So then after Auckland, we're going to go to Waitomo.
Waitomo is somewhere around here.
Yep. Then we're going to head towards Rotorua. And then we're going to go to Taupo. Then we're going to go to Tongariro National Park.
This is a little bit low, but this is very rough. This isn't an exact map.
Then we're going to Wellington.
Yep.
Then we're going to go to Picton, Nelson, up all the way to the west coast. We're going to go to Punakaiki. Oh, no, Greymouth is before. Greymouth. Sorry about that.
Oh, you can do Punakaiki is kind of next to Greymouth.
Yeah, let's do Punakaiki and Greymouth.
Yeah.
Then after we're going to do Franz Joseph.
How's that itinerary coming along?
And then we're going to go to Wanaka.
Oh, somewhere over here.
Queenstown.
Again, very approximate dots.
And then Moncook. And then Christchurch. So you will notice that this itinerary has a little bit less dot that many 2 weeks itinerary have. And that's because when you're traveling with a family like Natasha is doing, we usually recommend you guys to travel a little bit slower and have a bit more time in each places. So you don't just strain the kids with just being in a car for a whole
17 days.
17 days and 8 hours a day. It's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So when you're going to be landing in Auckland, there's a couple of things which are really awesome to do with kids. One of them is to take a ferry and to go to one of the islands. There is a beautiful island called Tiritiri Matangi, which is full of native birds and absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful way to start your trip in New Zealand. You're going to see a lot of super loud and colorful birds. And kids absolutely love that. Plus, the cruise is really awesome because you get to see a lot of islands around. And the other island that you can go to, which is much cheaper, it's called Rangitoto Island. Both islands, you access them through the ferry, which is right in Auckland Central. So it's super easy to go to. On Rangitoto Island, it's a very short walk, I'd say less than an hour. And you pass through lava fields. You have a crater of a volcano. You even have some lava caves to explore and scavenge around. And on the top of the volcano, you will be able to see the whole Hauraki Gulf, so all the other islands, as well as the skyline of Auckland. So that's a really awesome thing to do. And the second thing that you can do with kids, they really do love that, it's going up the Sky Tower. You go up this really, really tall tower. There is a lot of glass panels all around. So it's 360 view of the whole area. And so you get to check out the whole of Auckland. So that's pretty awesome to do. But you're not in New Zealand to visit the city. You are in New Zealand to explore the amazingness that the country has to offer. So let's get started with Waitomo.
Okay, so in Waitomo, there's a few different things you can be doing, and it really depends on the age of your kids, what sort of basically how old they are and what they can do and what if they can walk. So first of all, if your kids are a bit older, if they're sort of like, I guess, in their teens, you can be doing blackwater rafting or Waitomo adventures, which is kind of like a caving experience in the glowworm caves. There's a lot of abseiling, tubing, which is getting in some sort of black inflatable tires and going down the rapids that way. So yeah, there's a few things that you can be doing if you're a bit of an active family and you can do that sort of thing. Alternatively, there are some more laid back sort of tours that are really good for kids. One of them is the Raikuri Cave. Raikuri Cave. So yeah, this is a walking tour, so you can go and see some amazing limestone formations and see some glowworms at the same time, and that's a really good one for all ages. Alternatively, there are 2 boat tours in the Waitomo Caves. There's one called like Spellbound, and the other one's called the Waitomo Glowworm Caves. And basically, this takes you on a boat on a nice quiet stream where you're underneath thousands and thousands of glowworms, which is absolutely incredible. And again, that's sort of an activity that's good for all ages. So yeah, there's lots of different things to do there depending on what sort of style your family prefers.
Moving on, we're going to Rotorua. So in Rotorua, it's the nest of the Maori culture in New Zealand. You'll be able to do so many of those Maori culture related activities, which is really awesome. But you mentioned you're really interested in hot pools. And around the geothermal area of Rotorua, there is so many different hot pools, from free to paid and everything in between. And it's really, really awesome. So you're definitely going to be spoiled. Probably the most family friendly out of all the hot pools will be the Polynesian Spa, which again is right in the center of Rotorua. Then we move on to Taupo. Taupo is kind of a nice, relaxing area that the kids are going to really love because there is a lot of really short walk around. Nearby, there is a town called Turangi, which has a trout center. Same thing, it's a nice short walk. Let's say it's about an hour to walk all around, and you see all those rainbow trouts, and you can see like blue ducks and a ton of kind of native birds as well surrounding the area. And so, yeah, there's really a lot of things to do around Taupo for kids. Moving on to the Tongariro National Park. It's famous for the Tongariro crossing, but I don't think that's the best thing to do with kids.
Yeah, so alternatively, there are a lot of short walks like you really want in your itinerary. So for instance, you could be doing something called Torfai Falls, which is officially it's about a 20-minute return walk, but it's more likely to just take you 10 or 5 minutes to get there. But this is to see a really cool waterfall, which you'll definitely want to get some photos of. Alternatively, if you've got a couple of hours to spare, you can head down to a place called Whakapapa Village, and there is the Taranaki Falls Walk, and this is a 2-hour loop walk.
It's an easy 2 hours.
It's an easy 2 hours, yeah. There's just one set of stairs that you'll have to go up, but yeah, if your kids are old enough, they'll find it easy.
Otherwise, carry them, tough it up, your parents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the alternative. So this is really good. Another really impressive waterfall. So that's really to sort of take in some amazing New Zealand scenery. So there's a couple of short walk ideas for you.
All right, and then that's probably going to be your longest drive, I think, along the way. Yeah, probably about your longest drive, but you're going to go from Tongariro National Park to Wellington. So Wellington is the capital of New Zealand. So if you want to educate them a little bit about democracy and everything like that, you can actually check out the New Zealand Parliament. But if you want to be doing something way more fun, you can go to the Te Papa Museum, which I feel like if I was a kid, that would be the best museum I would ever go in my life. There's so many exhibitions. A lot of them are super interactive. You learn a lot about volcanoes. There's stuff about dinosaurs. There is stuff about like crazy wildlife that New Zealand has. Like there is the giant squid, which is a massive squid that washed ashore in New Zealand. They put them in the solution and it's preserved. And there's just so much in that museum, and it's an absolutely gigantic museum. Most people need actually 2 days to do do the whole museum. So it's just to tell you how much there is. So they're absolutely going to love that. Yeah. And then you take your camper van, hop on the ferry, and cross all the way to Picton.
Go on.
Now the reason why we gave you a little bit more time in Picton is because there is a place called Loch Mara, which is a kids' paradise.
Yeah, so Loch Mara is kind of like, well, it's full of short walks to start with. So that's somewhere you can get your short walk fix. You can actually stay there in some accommodation if you want to sort of have a sort of remote experience in New Zealand, which is really cool. Often dolphins come into the bay, so you can watch the bottlenose dolphins.
There's rays as well.
There's stingrays. So there's an underwater observatory, so the kids can go and check out all sorts of different amazing marine wildlife. There's also a touch tank, so they take you on a little tour and they can show you all the starfish and urchins and stuff like that, which is really interesting for, well, kids and adults as well. We've been there ourselves and we really enjoyed it too. And also they have a flying fox, which is basically a zip line, but in New Zealand they call it flying fox. Then there's also a restaurant there as well, so you can go there for lunch too. There's really a lot of stuff to do there. They have a lot of wildlife, and it's just a really cool place to go.
All right, we're moving on to Nelson. So Nelson is the gateway to the Abel Tasman National Park. So you wanted some beaches? Here are the most beautiful beach you can find some of the most beautiful beaches you can find in the country. You can hop on a boat and go literally within the national park, check out some really secluded beaches and check out the native bush and all of that. You can also kayak there. The kids love kayaking usually. There are some seals as well around the area, which is quite cool. So there's really a lot to do in Nelson, and that's where you can get your beach fix. Moving on, we are driving all the way through the beautiful Nelson Lake. This is going to be a gorgeous drive, and you're arriving on the west coast of New Zealand.
All right, so on the west coast, we suggest to stay in a place called Punakaiki. This is a very tiny town, but it's famous for one of probably the best short walks in New Zealand, which is the Punakaiki Pancake Rocks. This takes you on a very easy, probably about, say, a 15-minute walk if you were walking quite fast, but you're going to want to stop and have a look at all the amazing rock formations along the way. So as you're walking around, you see these crazy rock formations that look like pancakes stacked up on top of each other. There's blowholes, so you can see the water crashing onto the rocks and shooting water up into the air, which is always really fun. Best to go at high tide to see that at its finest. Also in Punakaiki, there's all sorts you could be doing there. There's horse riding, there's kayaking, there's also a cave, just a little short cavern you can go and check out.
2-minute walk, like just 2-minute scramble even.
Yeah, exactly. It's just off the main road, so that's really easy to check out. And just the area and the coastline over there is absolutely stunning. So if you're traveling in a camper van, there's a holiday park there, which is just, I think it's one of probably the most scenic holiday parks we stayed in during New Zealand's biggest gap year.
Scenery, wow.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. So
moving on.
That's pretty much Punakaiki.
We're moving on to the Glacier country. So the Glacier country, French Joseph. Well, obviously, this is where there are glaciers, and it's pretty awesome to stay there. There are some really awesome holiday parks to stay at. For example, Rainforest Retreat. Yes. Oscar's going to be upset. So Rainforest Retreat over there is pretty awesome to stay at. And check out the glaciers. You can take a helicopter and go and land on the glacier. It's a great way to teach the kids about global warming and the impact of humans on the planet, and see exactly what global warming does, because you can see where the glacier was before and where it moves back and back, meaning that it's actually melting. So it's a really awesome place to visit. And if you have a bad weather day, you have some awesome hot pools here as well, since you're really into hot pools. And for the kids, you have Wildlife Center, which has the kiwi birds, so you can go there and check out the kiwi birds. And obviously, when it comes down to wildlife, the kids love that.
Yeah.
Moving on to Wanaka, which is going to helping you to catch your breath a little bit before heading to crazy Queenstown.
Yeah, so in Wanaka, you can, like Robin said, you can catch your breath there. There's kind of it's a very relaxed town. There's a few activities there, but in terms of things to do with the kids, I would just basically, you could hire bikes or kayaks and just have a bit of a relaxing sort of bike ride around the lake, or go kayaking on the lake as well. There's a really cool children's playground there with the dinosaur slide. So depending how old your kids are, they may be really into that.
How old your girlfriend is?
Yeah, I mean, I personally haven't tried out the slide, but it looks kind of cool. Yeah, and also it's just a place to get some really nice scenery. Maybe you just go out for dinner, that sort of thing, catch your breath, and yeah, just spend some quality time with the family.
All right, moving on to Queenstown. Queenstown is full of things to do. There is just an endless amount of things to do, from whitewater rafting, canyoning, skydiving, going to Milford Sound, which is named the eighth wonder of the world. Queenstown needs no introduction. There is the luge. There is just so much to do there that you're definitely going to need 2-3 days there, and the kids are going to be able to just pick what they want to do, and you'll have a blast doing it with them. Yeah, and you can see videos of us. Actually, you can see videos of us doing every single activities we're talking about in here. But yeah, you'll find that the luge are really great for the kids, and even just Milford Sound is mind-blowing and all those companies.
Yeah.
So Queenstown needs no introduction. Get there, enjoy it. Moving on, we're going all the way to Mount Cook. One of the best things actually to go to Mount Cook is actually the drive. It's also really stunning.
Yeah, so going from Queenstown to Mount Cook, you get to travel past some amazing places. One of them is Lindis Pass, which is probably one of the most sort of famous scenic drives in New Zealand. But yeah, it is quite a long drive, so make sure you do take plenty of stops along the way, just so everyone can stretch their legs and the kids don't get too, a little too aggravated. And then you will get to Lake Punakaiki, which you'll actually get to Pukaki, yeah. So Lake Pukaki, which you can drive alongside on your way to the Mount Cook National Park, where we suggest you stay for a couple of more days. And this is where New Zealand's highest mountain is, Mount Cook. And again, this is a really good place for short walks, particularly the Hooker Valley Walk. It's a very easy, sort of well-graded trail, very well maintained, which you can go on as a family. And yeah.
And you have some amazing night sky as well. You are right in the heart of the Dark Sky Reserve, so you can show them the stars and you can educate them about astronomy. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Then we're moving on to Christchurch. So if you do have some time in Christchurch, you can check out the Canterbury Museum, or if you have even more time in Christchurch and you decide to stay a little bit longer, you can make your way to the Banks Peninsula, where you can go check out some of the world's smallest dolphins, some of the world's smallest penguins, and it's really awesome to go visit that. It's a wildlife paradise. But otherwise, you're in Christchurch and you can fly home. All right, so that's our itinerary for 70 days in New Zealand with the family. I think it includes a lot of different stuff. It includes hot pools, beaches, and a lot of short walk, as what you were, looking for, Natasha. If you are watching this video and your name is not Natasha, you can definitely leave your questions or your itinerary request in the comment of this video, and we are here to help. We do those videos every single week. And if you do find this useful, be cool, reward us for hard work by just clicking the like button. It's free and it really helps us out. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, let's go back to the live chat.
Can I get the rubber?
I will be answering every question. I'm sorry we're talking a little bit longer right now, but we're always really fan of doing itineraries. Carly says, yes, I am flying in 2 weeks, guys. Advice for driving on the left. I'm pretty nervous. I've never done it before, and I'll be the sole driver for our 10 days adventure. Go slow and take your time. And the first time you're going to see a roundabout, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what's happening right here? So just take the time to catch your breath and actually just kind of go for it. But honestly, you'll be surprised how quickly you get used to it. It's very, very easy, especially since, it's highly likely that your car is going to be an automatic. So you're not going to panic too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time you just sit on the driver's seat, take the time to take a deep breath and just watch the traffic for 1 second, and then you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's the side of the road I should be on.
Yeah.
It's all about never being on a rush. If you are on a rush, you're going to make a mistake. If you just catch your breath and take your time, let's say you're driving for a couple of hours and then you stop to check out the views, take a few pictures. When you get back behind your car and you start, you're about to get out and get out on the road, just literally do this exercise every time. That just give you time enough to see where the cars are going and which side they are, and then you're just going to go on the right place and you're going to be absolutely sweet. There is no need to panic in driving on the wrong side of the road. Hopefully this relieves your stress, Carly. But tell us how you go afterwards, and hopefully don't crash the car. She said, another. Sorry, what about local food? I haven't found so much on what you have to eat in New Zealand. We did a video about that a couple of weeks ago, so there are some videos on this channel. So what you can do, you can actually just use the search bar of the channel and type food, Or if you're on your phone, just type food and NZ Pocket Guide, and you'll find all our favorite things to eat. And we also have some long list on the channel as well, on the website as well. But the fish and chips basically, and pavlova and Maori hangi. Here you go. That's the top 3 ones. But check out the full videos when we actually tell you what all those things are. Michelle Elizabeth, if you guys remember, she was here last week. She wants to buy land and live off the grid somewhere in the mountain of the South Island. What's she saying? Hello, guys. I hope you are well. Do you have to be a resident to purchase a home or land, or could I do so with a visa? What is the process of purchasing land or a home like in New Zealand? No idea. No idea. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I know that they introduced a law recently where they don't allow, overseas residents to buy land in New Zealand. So I think you do have to be a resident of New Zealand. But honestly, that's not our expertise. We are this channel is more about traveling in New Zealand. So we can definitely help you with your travel questions. But in terms of being a resident and buying homes and real estate, that's not really what this channel is all about.
Hero, hey, I told you guys that Hero will show up.
Because we've got his question.
Yeah, at the beginning of the video, I said Hero is going to show up. He said, hey guys, all good? Yeah, pretty good. Life is pretty nice here. Has been raining a lot lately, but that's a good thing. And we have a lot of hikes planned for this week, so we're pretty excited about it. We have your question, Hero, about your upcoming trip to Tonga. So we'll answer that a little bit later today, if you're cool with that. Samandeep Sandhu. Oh, I'm really sorry about your name, man. I hope I said it correctly. He say, what's the best and cheap phone provider I can get during my travels? Go with Skinny. We actually have video on this channel about all the different operators and everything. So if you want a bit more in-depth answer, you can type phone on the search channel of our channel, on the search bar of our channel, or you can just type phone and then NZ Pocket Guide on YouTube, and you'll find all our videos about that. But in short, you want to get something called Skinny, and you can buy their SIM cards as well as their top up and all their plan and all those kind of things. You can buy all that at a store called The Warehouse. You can buy it at any supermarket, which are Pack and Save, Countdown, and New World, and you can buy it in any convenience store as well. You get a SIM card, you put that in your phone, and you get a top up, you get a little voucher, and you pay like $20, and you get that, and then you can get a weekly plan using this top up, or you can just pay as you go. But the weekly plan are usually a little bit cheaper, and you will get more internet, which is better.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Reed says, thank you guys so much for your website and these videos. I'm heading to New Zealand next Sunday from Toronto. So excited. Awesome. How long are you spending in New Zealand? We have another Canadian in Canadian, eh?
Are you going to put your Canadian flag on your backpack all the other Canadians?
Every Canadian has a flag on somewhere on themselves. They have a T-shirt with a Canadian flag, or they have a hat with the Canadian flag.
Or they have a little sort of patch on their backpack
on the side of the cap. So tell us, Kenneth,
where are you putting your Canadian flag?
But yeah, I'm joking. I love Canada. I spent a working holiday in Canada as well. It's really awesome. How long are you going to be staying in New Zealand, Kenneth? Carly says, I left for 1 second and you already read my question. Oops. Oh no. Well, you have to rewind.
Yeah.
But we did answer your questions. We're that kind of guys. All right, cool. So while you guys are getting warmed up with some more questions, we are going to answer Hero's question that Laura wants to. Is he your favorite? Or
Yeah, I want to ask Hero's question.
So you spent some time with Carly, me, you answer Hero's question. What am I doing?
Oh, you talk enough. Just have a rest, have some water. All right, okay. So Hiroshi on YouTube asked, hello guys, I intend to travel to Tonga in order to swim with whales, but it might be on a budget. Can you guys tell me how you would make this trip? How would you go there? By plane? From which airport? To what island? How long would you be there? And which other activities would you do knowing that you're on a budget? Which company would you go to swim with whales? Thank you so much.
All right, so first up, Hero, I want to get started by saying that you are a goddamn cheater. That's not one question, that's 20 of them.
That's like 20 questions within one question. But
yeah, so as you guys know, we also have a website called TongaPocketGuide.com. And on Tonga Pocket Guide, it's basically your Bible of traveling in Tonga. So on Tonga Pocket Guide, we have something called trip IDs. And in there, you have a lot of trip ideas, and we plan your whole trip for you. So on Tonga Pocket Guide, you have a Tonga itinerary for 5 days on a budget, and you literally have everything on how to arrive, but you also have day-to-day what you should be doing and what we will be doing. So we'll go a little bit through that. Now, one of the best ways to access Tonga is from either Australia or New Zealand. If you're in New Zealand, you definitely want to fly from Auckland, because it's cheaper. Otherwise, you got to fly from where you are to Auckland and then fly from Auckland. And if you are in Australia, you can leave from Sydney. It's usually where your cheapest connections are. Now, when you arrive in Tonga, you will definitely want to land in Nuku'alofa. So what's the name of the airport in Tonga?
So that is the Fua'amotu Airport.
Right.
It's on the island of Tongatapu, and that is the main airport of Tonga. So there is another international airport in one of the other islands in the north, but that tends to be more expensive to get to. So we would definitely recommend starting your trip in Tongatapu, otherwise known as like the nearest city to that is called Nuku'alofa, and the airport itself is called Fua'amotu.
Whew. I'm so glad she's taking this one.
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to fly to Tonga, because if you're going there like by cruise and everything, you only have about 1 or 2 days there, and also it's definitely not cheap. So if you're on a budget, you want to fly to Tonga. Now, so on which island would you want to spend most of your time? You would want to spend most of your time on Tongatapu and the little island of Euas, or Euas.
Eua?
E-A-U.
Yes.
O-E-U-A? EUA.
Oh, it says on here.
Yeah, or somewhere. Anyway, so you're gonna get to those 2 islands, and that's pretty much it. Now, the good thing is that the flight between both islands is about 7 minutes. Is that correct? And
yeah, it's short, one of the shortest commercial flights in the world. Apparently, that's its claim to fame.
so it's really short, and therefore it's really cheap to fly between both islands. All right, so activities to do in Tongatapu. When you are on a budget, there is a ton of historical sites and beautiful, amazing natural sites to check out. So there is a cave that you can visit, and you can even go swim in.
Yes,
that's Anahulu Caves. This is quite cheap to do. It's under $20.
Yeah,
and it's definitely worth it. You have limestone formations everywhere. It's really awesome, and you even have like a pool in the cave. And just
you can go and swim in it.
And you can literally jump and swim in the cave. It's really awesome. You can see some amazing blowholes as well, which are really awesome, because you see the waves kind of like boom, gushing and everything. But there are also a lot of other kind of cultural things to do, like markets, and also this rock
the Hamonga.
Right.
Yeah. So in the city, the capital itself, Nuku'alofa, there is this huge market there, which at first when you hear about a market, you don't really think much of it. But when you go there, this place is absolutely incredible. It has so many handicrafts there that people have actually all handmade. Everything there is unique, and yeah, you get to see some amazing, it's a really amazing cultural aspect to your trip to Tonga, and it's a free thing to do. You don't necessarily have to buy anything, but you'll probably be tempted when you're there. But yeah, another cultural thing to do is to go visit the Hamonga a Maui, which is a sort of a stone archway that is really ancient. It's kind of got some history behind that. One of the early kings of Tonga had it made for him, and it's kind of like known as the Stonehenge of the South Pacific. So that's a cool thing to go check out as well. But to see some of these sites, you will either have to hire yourself a car, which car hire in Tonga is actually quite affordable. Otherwise, you can go on guided tours, which basically takes you around the whole island, seeing all these sites. And that actually works out to be about the same price as renting a car. So that's also definitely worth considering.
All right. So then one of the big things that you want to do is whale swimming. Laura, the whale swimming season in Tonga is?
It's from July to October.
All right. And so you can do that on both the island of Eua and from Tongatapu. And something that most people don't know is that from the main island, it's actually where you have the smallest amount of tours. So you have more time with the whales, and there is less stress on the animals and everything, which is way better.
Yeah.
So you're better off actually doing whale swimming in Tongatapu or in Euas rather than other parts of Tonga, which is quite cool. If you are in Tongatapu, we suggest you go with a company called Tuna Moana. We love those guys. They're really awesome.
They take a really good eco-friendly approach to the whale swimming, which is really good.
Exactly. So that activity will take you a whole day. So when you plan for your itinerary, you want to plan for the whole day, and that is not cheap, but it's worth every penny, but it's not cheap. So when you're on a budget, make sure you think of that. It's going to cost you more than your flight to Tonga.
Yeah.
But you can also do that from the island of the Areas. Now, one of the reasons why we want to send you to the island of the Areas is just so you see two different kind of sides of Tongatapu. The Areas are really different, have some really awesome banyan trees. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Banyan tree. My pronunciation is on par today. So they have those awesome trees that makes for very unique looking forest. So that's an awesome hike to do. Sending a hike, so it's really cheap to do. You can do whale swimming over there. You can do some snorkeling around, which is quite awesome. You can do bareback horse riding, which as a man hurts. So up to you, my friend. It's a style, but yeah, and there is also some awesome historical site. Now, one piece of advice when going to the Areas, make sure that your flight back is actually just maybe a day before your flight from Tongatapu back to New Zealand or to Australia, is just because there is sometimes a lot of flight cancellation, and if your flight get cancelled, then you may be stuck in Tonga for an extra few days, and that's never, I mean, it's an amazing place to be stuck in, but it's not that fun if you had travel plans. So yeah, so aside from flight cancellation, any extra tips to give about Tonga, or are you good?
Just for where you can stay, there's actually loads of really good budget accommodations in Tonga, both in Tongatapu and in Iua. So in Iua, the island itself, all the accommodation there is budget accommodation. So you won't have trouble finding anything that's, going to be cheap enough. But yeah, usually you're looking for a type of accommodation called guest house accommodation. Yes. They don't really call anything hostels or backpackers like they would in New Zealand, in Tonga. Usually they go for the term guest house. So if you're searching for cheap accommodation, then that's definitely what you need to be looking for. But yeah, we do have all this advice on TongaPocketGuide.com.
It's going, it's loading. Our internet's really slow.
So yeah, we have all this sort of budget advice. We go through all the budget accommodations you can go and stay in. We tell you all the free and cheap activities to do around Tonga, how to get between the islands as well. So yeah, hopefully that 5-day budget itinerary that we just showed you before will basically help you plan all your trip.
All right. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys find it useful, make sure to like and subscribe and put your questions in the comment below, and we have some link for you in the description. Let's go back to the live chat. All right, so guys, I'm going to answer every question, or we're going to answer every question, so don't panic if we go a little bit too slow. We're very sorry. It's just you guys are telling us a lot of things, and we like it. Kenneth says, oh, that's so funny because I'm born American. I will be there for just under 2 weeks. Oh, that's a short trip. But my suitcase does have a Canadian flag on it. I have lived in Canada for 12 years. Yep, I mean, every Canadian, man, every Canadian has a flag somewhere, either on their suitcase, backpack, or on themselves. Shinji 112. Hey, Robin and Laura, thanks for all your videos. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I've watched so many of them to help me plan my 2 weeks road trip around the South End. Awesome. Cool. That's cool. I hope you're going to have a blast. If you sometimes are a bit unsure about our pronunciation of some places and you're unsure about which one we're talking about, feel free to check NZPocketGuide.com, where we actually have way more information. Like every time we finish one of those sessions of answering you guys' question, we feel frustrated because there is something, oh shit, I forgot to say this. Oh damn, I forgot to say that. But when we're on the website, we can get back to it and add some information constantly and make sure everything is up to date and everything. So make sure you check the website from time to time because there's so much more there. Carly says, I didn't know I can rewind. Awesome advice for the driving time. Also, I hope I don't crash the car. Ha ha ha. Wish me luck and I'll let you know. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
But just focus. Luck has nothing to do with it. Just take your deep breath. You'll be good. Nick Burton says, I'm traveling from the US and I will be going to Queenstown on Monday for my honeymoon. Oh, congratulations, man. Awesome. And congratulations to Lady, you're taking her to Queenstown. That's a pretty cool honeymoon.
Yeah.
Is there a can't miss attraction there if you had to narrow it down to one thing? Okay, pick one thing and I pick one. So we give you two.
Just in Queenstown?
Yeah. Or from Queenstown.
Or from Queenstown.
Okay, what's she thinking?
I'm thinking Milford Sound. I don't know if that's on your itinerary anyway, but I think that's a pretty unmissable thing to do. From Queenstown, there are bus tours or flights, which I think for your honeymoon, maybe you should do something a little bit special by taking a scenic flight to Milford Sound from Queenstown, and that would be an amazing way to see Milford Sound. And then once you arrive there, you'll be able to do a cruise around this beautiful fjordland landscape, and then you can take a flight back, or there's some combinations available where you can take a bus back, or a bus in, a flight out, for instance. There's loads of different options. So on nzpocketguide.com, we do have an article which is like the best scenic flights from Queenstown, or the best Milford Sound tours from Queenstown. So you can have a look at those and see which sort of tour suits you. But yeah, getting to Milford Sound would be on my top of the list.
Yeah. So for me, I think I love whitewater rafting, and Queenstown has a pretty exceptional one. So I will go whitewater rafting. First up, it's a really fun experience to share. And if I remember, when we shot our video of whitewater rafting in Queenstown, if you want to check it out, there was actually a couple in their honeymoon.
There was, yeah.
And there was a couple from the US, very proud to be on their honeymoon, and they had a blast. It's just a great way to kind of like share something together, and you have to work together. So that's kind of a test. Maybe you should do that before you get married. But you kind of have to work together with that. So it's a really epic whitewater rafting. You get some amazing landscape locations and everything. There's so many rocks and stuff. And there is actually a part where you actually go through a tunnel. That was an old mining tunnel. And you go that in a whitewater rafting raft. It's just mind-boggling. It feels like a attraction ride,
Yeah.
But no, it's just what it is. It's really epic. So I will definitely do the whitewater rafting. I think is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
But if I can just give you a quick tip, you are going to try to find Eric's fish and chips, and for dessert, you're going to get a deep fried kiwi fruit, because that is really amazing. It's just a quick.
And it's a very New Zealand thing to get.
Yeah, and it's really cheap. It's definitely worth it. So you grab that deep fried kiwi fruit, and then you go by the Lake Wakatipu. It's only a few steps away, and you just eat your deep fried kiwi fruit while watching this beautiful lake. Go to bed in the evening, for example. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, that would be my tip, Nick. That's way too long to answer that with one thing, honestly.
Yeah.
But
we just get very passionate about talking about pretty much anything to do with New Zealand.
Michelle Elizabeth says, thank you for your answer. I'm planning on spending a year on a work visa, bounce around to see what New Zealand is all about. Finally, that fits me. Your channel is super helpful. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are showering us with love lately. I love it. Thank you very much. So thank you for watching. And
I think that's a very good idea to just sort of travel around New Zealand and see what sort of area fits you. It's very hard to sort of know where to go and plan what you want to do just by, not by being in New Zealand and just asking like, where shall I go? What's best for me? It's like definitely best to actually just travel the country, get a lay of the land first before you actually jump into sort of buying land that you want to do.
Mike Half say this is super helpful. Thank you. All right. So just sorry, in a second, guys. I'm just gonna block someone up and hide user on this channel. Go. Sorry, I just had to get rid of someone.
Mike Half.
Yeah, cool. Mike Half. Yeah, using the ferry north to south, how are the time to check in and on board with a camper? Total time to calculate with. Okay, Mike, it just sounds like you are a little bit kind of on a rush when taking the ferry and everything. Just know that it's half a day, right? So the time to check in and everything, you're actually going to need to go and park like about an hour before, and you're going to be literally staying. You actually can watch a video of us doing that. Literally, you can see. You type ferry and NZ Pocket Guide, you can see what happens, literally everything, right? So you're going to be arriving, you're going to show your reservation, they're going to say go line like 3 or 4, and you're going to park here, and you can be here for like an hour or an hour and a half, depending on how long it takes them to load everybody. And then they get each car to go like all in the line, and they tell you exactly where to park, so they help you park everywhere. So let's say the whole boarding process between I'll say calculate 2 hours, something like that. And then you have the whole ferry cruise, which is 3.5 hours. And then you have the onboarding, which is about half the boarding time, probably. So it doesn't. It's not a short thing. It's not something you can do when you're really kind of on the time. Think that it's half a day of your time.
Plan your day for that, basically. Like leave that day aside in your itinerary to take the ferry. Like, okay, this day is ferry day.
There's not going to be any other activities or attractions to do on that day.
I mean, unless you're taking the ferry on the night or something, then that you can probably do some stuff in the day. But yeah, just bear in mind this is not a quick process.
Yeah. Hero says, thank you very much, guys. During your next live session, I will be in Auckland Airport. Oh, that's so cool. So you're literally going to be landing next Sunday morning in New Zealand. That's really awesome. I'm taking a box of Brazilian chocolate to you. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
I'll send you a message on Instagram to know how to deliver. Awesome. We'll take you on a hike somewhere, or we'll catch up somewhere.
Yeah.
Deep Patel says, I am in New Zealand, Rotorua, but I haven't found any type of job. What should I do? Did you watch our video on how to find a job? Did you make a New Zealand CV? Did you apply online as well as went, not door to door, but shop to shop where you want to go and work, present yourself? Did you contact recruitment agencies? Did you actually make sure that you have a good enough level of English in order to actually be able to do the job that you want? Did you consider other type of job than what you used to do? There is a lot of picking and stuff like that, a little bit outside Rotorua. Did you consider going to another place than Rotorua if you didn't find a job in this place? There is a lot of different things that you can do, and we covered that in our videos called How to Quickly Find a Job in New Zealand. So maybe check this one out. Hopefully that's going to help.
Okay.
Saga says sports job. Okay, you got to brush up on your rugby. I don't know all the kind of sports jobs there is.
And this is a different person asking, actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sports job? What's your full question?
Yeah. Please word your question completely. That would be nicer. Carly Munoz. I'm so bad at name. I love it. I am such a pain. No, you're not. But you literally know everything. No, we don't. We already have a reservation for doing the heli hike in Franz Joseph. But we're really thinking if we should do the overnighter, it sounds like. The overnighter?
Is that in Franz Joseph? But we really think if we should do the overnighter, it sounds like... I feel like because there's a capital letter here and here, it's like maybe the overnighter in Milford Sound.
Yeah, one of the lifetime experience, but we can't find any review online. Do you know about this? Carly, can you just rephrase your question? Maybe we don't understand your question. Please rephrase this so we can answer. I'm sorry about that. Is it worth it? Is it safe?
Also, if it's a particular tour, maybe it's a new tour or something.
I'm just going to Google it at the same time, so I'm going to Google it because maybe it's a tour from a company we know. So
yeah, we're not quite sure what that tour is.
Yeah, you can answer the next question, maybe.
Well, next is lol. So, so I haven't got really much to say to that other than lol. Yeah. So yeah.
You don't use lol often enough.
So yeah, Robin's just going to quickly Google that, or if you do have a link to that particular tour, we can check it out and see if we recognize it or know what it is. But
Glacier Overnighter by Franz Joseph Glacier. Okay, that's from the guide. Yeah, that's so. This company is the company that we use and we know, so they do exist. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, that's a new tour. Oh, wow, that's brand new.
Oh, it's a brand new tour, so that's why we haven't heard of it.
Wow, I wouldn't spend that long on the eyes. I'll be honest. Okay, my opinion on this one, I just had a quick look right now. I don't think that you will have that much of a... Yeah, you will sleep on the glacier, but I feel like in New Zealand, you have so many like unique sleeps and unique places to spend on. I feel like the tour is good enough just on its own, and I think you can save about half the price on doing a normal tour, so I'll definitely do that instead. But yeah, okay, yeah. So she said, Franz Joseph Glacier Guide is offering an overnight tour, sleep on the glacier. It sounds amazing, but we're hesitant because it's a lot of money. Oh yeah, definitely. If they do it, they are a very big company. They own a lot of different activities around New Zealand, not just this one. They would not do it if it wasn't 100% safe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just definitely something they're really worried about. So they wouldn't do that. But what I think, in my personal, that's my gut feeling. I just read quickly their description and I just check a few facts about what it is. and it's basically kind of like the normal tour, and then you have like a little base camp, and then you spend night in tents right here, and then you finish the tour and you helicopter out. Yeah, heli hike out basically afterwards. I wouldn't spend that much money, me personally, on that tour, just because I don't think it will be that unique enough. If I can definitely sleep in the village nearby, and it's totally fine. I like to appreciate the grandeur of the glaciers there. You have amazing night skies and everything from there, but you will get those things from other places, like in Mount Cook or in near Lake Tekapo. So I will personally not spend $1,000 for that. But that's awesome that there's a new tour. So literally, it's been started last month, so it's so new. It's pretty.
Yeah, so that's
cool.
why you probably can't find any reviews. I'd only say the only advantage of that is that you'll get to see the glacier when there's not as many people on the glacier, or when there's not as many helicopters flying above. But if that was a concern of yours, then instead I would go to Fox Glacier, which is only a 20-minute drive from Franz Josef Glacier. And there they have only one helicopter company doing that glacier. So that is where you can get a more sort of tranquil experience. So if that was something that you were considering, then maybe I would steer you towards Fox Glacier instead. But yeah, otherwise, like Robin said, it's probably better value for money to just do their normal day heli hike with Franz Josef Glacier.
There you go. That's our take on it, Carly. Para D says, I just wanted to say hi. Hi. I like your country so much. Love from Sri Lanka. Maybe I'll be there someday. Awesome.
Nice.
Maybe you plan a holiday to New Zealand. Princess Richard.
Princess Richard.
I love that name. If you aren't taking a car on the ferry, will it still take that amount of time? So that's referring to the timing that we were talking about boarding the ferry. No, it's literally about 30 minutes boarding in, maybe 30 minutes boarding out at the most.
Yeah, you don't have to be there as early, but you still have to be there within a certain time. So there is like usually waiting around for an hour to half an hour before you board.
Half an hour.
Half an hour, maybe.
But the cruise itself on the ferry is obviously exactly the same time. You are on the same boat that people that take the camper van or the car. But you're checking. You literally get an extra 2 hours at minimum in your day, which is quite good. So that gives you some time, maybe in Wellington, to go check out the Te Papa Museum, and maybe Picton to go and do some of the really short walk which are around. There's even some awesome bike tracks around, which is pretty cool. Saga Rajput says, how about Wellington City? I am coming in July for studies. Wellington City, awesome. It's been often called one of the best capital city in the world because it's teeny tiny and it has like really cool feeling there. There is awesome like cultural things to do there. There is a lot of amazing exhibition, a lot of great museums as well, including the Te Papa Museum, which is the National Museum of New Zealand, which is gigantic and absolutely amazing. If you rewind this video during an itinerary that we did early on, we actually talked about the Te Papa Museum for quite a while. It's a really awesome museum to visit. And it's also a great place if you are into the seventh art, i.e. cinema.
Seventh art?
It's called the seventh art.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just making that up. I have no idea. But so if you're into cinema, this is where there is the Weta Studios, which is the studio that does the special effect for movies such as The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and Avatar. 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many avatars they're going to be doing now that it's owned by Disney, but they are working right now on Avatar 2 and 3 right now in Wellington, which is quite cool. So if you're into that, you can go visit the studios and everything, which is really awesome. Carly says, number one reason we want to do it is because of the night skies. We will not be able to spend a night in Tekapo, so it is our only chance to really see night skies, but I'm still thinking about it. Gracias. The night skies, honestly, so you have Tekapo, right, which is known for that, but you also have Mount Cook. So if you spend a night between Tekapo and Mount Cook, somewhere you're really going to enjoy the night skies there. Plus, New Zealand really all over has quite limited light pollution. So in many places that you're going to go to, you're going to have amazing night skies. I'm thinking about places like Punakaiki on the west coast. And to be fair, even if you are staying in Franz Josef, walk out of your holiday park and you'll have amazing night skies right there. There's no difference between, the difference between the glaciers and the town is going to be quite minimal. because the town is, about 20 buildings. It's really small.
And also, I think the major factor here is that you're taking a big risk hoping that there's going to be night skies, like a clear night to be able to see the stars, because also the West Coast is not really known for having consistently good weather. It's known for having mainly consistently rainy weather. So you're taking a big risk spending $1,000 to see clear skies, which that really depends on what the weather's doing.
I will really not bank on that.
Yeah.
I will do it on the other side, so on the east coast of the South Island, where you will have much better chances.
Yeah,
right here.
And honestly, like if you just take the time each night as you're traveling around New Zealand, just wait until it gets, much darker into the night. It's usually the stars are a bit better towards midnight, but 10 p.m., 9 p.m., that sort of thing. Just see if it's going to be a clear night, have a look outside and have a look at the stars. And it's usually just luck when it comes to seeing the night sky and seeing how amazing it is in New Zealand. And you will be probably really amazed by how clear the night sky is pretty much anywhere in New Zealand. So yeah, definitely don't bank on having the best skies in the world on this one tour.
It's $1,000 per person.
I know, that's just, I wouldn't go on it for the night skies.
Yeah. But, maybe one day we'll go and do that tour, because we do tours regularly, and maybe we'll find that there is really a very, very unique selling point there. Just at first glance right now, not worth it.
Yeah.
Sagar says, your Instagram account, I want to follow you. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. It's at Backpacker Guide NZ, I think, for now. We haven't changed the @ just yet for, we changed the name of the website. But yeah, you can find a link to it in the description. You can also find a link to it on the top of nzpocketguide.com. We link to all the different Instagram and Facebook and all that. So yeah, feel free to follow us on all those things. We're actually going to be doing a giveaway quite soon on Facebook. So if you guys want to follow us, make sure that you do that now before
you may get free activity.
Yeah, that's coming up soon, but don't tell people. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys have any extra questions, go crazy. We have an extra 5 minutes with you, so it's time for the quick fire. If you don't buy your question right now, it's gonna have to wait until next week, so go. And also, if you want to take a minute to be cool to us and click the like button, it's a great way for you to say thank you for all our hard work. And it's totally free, but basically what it does, it tells YouTube that this video was actually helpful and that people find that there was value into what we're doing, and so they may suggest it to more people. So if you guys want to be cool and do that, that'd be lovely. Other than that, there is a question that I received during the week on Facebook from someone that was really worried about the weather in New Zealand. He was asking me if we are joking when we say New Zealand is 4 seasons in one day, because he was planning his trip and he was like, oh, but I don't know if I need to pack like all those layers and everything. And no, we're not. Like, the weather in New Zealand is extremely changeable, but it's okay. It just means that you need to have a rain jacket. If the weather goes from sunny to rainy, it's not going to get super cold instantly either. It's just going to be a bit of rain.
Yeah, the temperature's probably going to still be the same. So in terms of layering up and stuff, you just need to you don't need to be traveling around New Zealand in summer, but also have like a big sort of duffel, what are they called? Like big puffer jackets. So yeah, just make sure that you have a rain jacket handy. Make sure that you just have a few precautionary sort of things to wear in case the weather changes. Because yeah, the weather does change, but we're not talking from like middle of summer to the middle of winter in one day. It's more like in one day. It basically means in one day it can be rainy, it can be sunny, it can be kind of chilly with a bit of wind, then it can be dry and fine. So like that's kind of what it means by the 4 seasons in one day. Yeah. And
temperature is usually wind. That just cools you down really quickly.
Yeah.
All right. So Clay Bryan says, have a good week, guys. Thank you very much, mate. Have a good week as well. And Carly Munoz says, right now, at what time is it going dark over there? Until what time is it safe in terms of lights? Because I know New Zealand is safe. So right now, it starts getting dark in New Zealand at the moment, around about 7:30, 8 o'clock, start getting dark.
Yeah, I'd say around 8 p.m. at the moment, because we're at the end of summer.
Is it 8? Is it yeah, I'm just going to check that out.
Yeah, you can check the sunset time.
But yeah, so it's usually, but it's still safe to drive. I mean, put your lights and everything. But you have to know that most of the roads in New Zealand don't have
Street lights.
Yeah, street lights, right? So you have to use the lights of the car, but
yeah. So so yeah, it goes dark. Robin's just going to double check that.
8:15 today.
Yeah, 8:15. And then in terms of because just relating to the stargazing that you were talking about, usually the stars are better towards 9 p.m., 10 p.m., but the later the better. In terms of what times it's safe to drive in the morning, so sunrise at the moment it's around 7 a.m. I think. So that's at the moment. So that obviously can change by the time you get to New Zealand.
Hero says, any article that mentioned all the filming locations of the Lord of the Rings?
Absolutely.
Of course there is one. Do you think that NZ Pocket Guide wouldn't have that?
We have about, 29 locations or something on there. Yeah.
So just type filming location Lord of the Rings, even on Google or anything like that, and you'll find our website. And there, definitely we have an article on that. Ton of them around the Tonga National Park until central North Island, and ton of them down near Queenstown. And we also have a video actually of that on the channel as well.
I think so.
We have a video on the channel as well. So of course we covered that. I mean, why wouldn't we? Mike says, thanks for answering. Have a nice week. You're very welcome, man. Paradis says, since there are no many comments, love to know what about you guys. What gave you the inspiration to start NZ Pocket Guide? How many heads working with you when you did start when did you start
traveling, keeping notes?
Thank you, Laura, for that. Okay, what gave us the inspiration for that? We literally arrived in New Zealand on working holiday visas, like every backpacker that coming here, and there was just no good travel guide to New Zealand. Everything I could find was like paper books that were out of date. And, as soon as you get printed, it's out of date, and it wasn't thorough enough. And you can tell, like, the way we kind of explain things, we are way overthinker. We like to give so much information, and we felt like it was kind of a good way to do that. So, I worked and traveled in 16 different countries, loved it. And then, it was kind of like, okay, New Zealand, we're going to create a Bible of traveling in New Zealand. And that's, we got started. It was not until we've been in New Zealand for quite a while there first, it took a few years to get to New Zealand first, and then we started doing that, and they snowballed into now becoming the largest travel guide to the country. So it's pretty awesome. And when I never kept notes when traveling. I kept everything here and then put it on the website, and that's it. I don't take notes. Laura is a note taker. She's a journalist of us all.
Yeah.
My news is for you too. No question, but just love the website, Laura and Robin. Oh, I like when they say Laura first. I can recommend it to everyone. Lots of content and easy to browse. Our planning to New Zealand is almost done. Thanks to you. Nice Sunday. Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Really happy. And if you do have a question and you something pops into your head when we're not live anymore, just put it in the comments of any on our YouTube videos. We're always happy to answer them. And then Carly Munoz say, that's pretty cool. Here in Mexico, 6 p.m. is already dark. That's awesome.
I owe you some tacos.
Some tacos.
I would love some tacos.
Don't bring tacos to us. Like this hot taco right here, I'm just bringing it for Laura and Robin.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You will not be able to get into New Zealand with fresh food.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's probably not that many good taco places in New Zealand.
No, so. Mexican food is actually pretty bad in New Zealand. I've never been to Mexico, right? So I can't talk about Mexican food from Mexico.
Yeah, it's probably better than here.
Yes,
I'm just guessing.
But I've tried some really awesome Mexican food in the US when I was there, and I really do like the Mexican food in the US. But the take on Mexican food in New Zealand is not that great. So Laura has to make burritos herself. So here you go. And I'm pretty sure they're not traditional.
No.
Because an English person as pale as that, making burritos does not end well.
Yeah, nothing I make is anything like it's meant to be. So there you go.
Clay Bryan says, how long have you guys been here? Well, I've been in New Zealand for... I think this is my 10th year in New Zealand, and in New Zealand for about 6 years. So here you go. And Carly says, I will have to declare them, right? Yes, you probably will have to declare them, and they probably make you eat them before you get into the country.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to waste them. Eat them right in front of them.
And then Carly says, US Mexican food is not Mexican food. Yes, okay. I did preface by saying that. I said it was good compared to here, but I said I'm pretty sure in Mexico would be better. I knew that was
opening up a can of worms there.
That was a slippery slope. I'm sorry, Carly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right, guys, this wraps up our live session with you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope that you got to learn something about New Zealand. I hope that you got to learn something about making your trip easier, maybe when traveling in New Zealand. And if you do have any questions, in the comments below, we will be back here Sunday at the same time. It's 8 a.m. New Zealand time on Sunday, which is Saturday in the UK at 8 p.m., Saturday in France at 9 p.m. It is Saturday at 2 p.m. EST in the US of A. It's Saturday at 11 a.m. PST in the USA. It is 12:30 a.m. On Sunday in India, and it's 6 a.m. in Australia. In the meantime, like, subscribe, do all the things that people always badger you to do, and and travel awesome. Bye-bye.
See you next week.